Day in and day out in the healthcare arena, things are changing so rapidly. We are constantly looking for that next idea, something that's a true game changer. And when I think of a game changer, I think of Allan Bissinger.
You know, you can just tell sometimes that some people have integrity just kind of built into their genes.
I don't think this is one of those instances where you're giving an award to someone because you need to find somebody to fill the slot. Allan is one of those people who really deserves it.
All sorts of people in our family and our circle of friends look upon Allan as a leader.
I can assure you that Allan has never shied away from a challenge, and certainly has accepted every task that has been asked of him by the community.
Between the JCC and Federation, and then his work at Touro and his work at LCMC, he has brought his gift of true leadership to this whole community.
He was serving on the Touro board, he was serving on the Children's Hospital board, and then he was serving on LCMC board. That's a lot of board meetings.
Doing all the things he does outside of running a successful business, he's also a devoted father.
I don't know how he balances everything that he's involved in, from the community, from work, from playing tennis, his personal life, but he does it all, and he does it very well.
I feel like I can go to Dad anytime I need anything. I think most people feel the same way. He's really a great resource to rely on.
Being able to see someone that is so selfless and is able to do things without expecting any sort of recognition for it, that to me is a game changer in itself.
The other part of a game changer, I know this sounds silly, but he was the best damn center in touch football you ever saw.
Touch football, that was a real bond for Allan and the rest of our friends. And we really didn't call him Allan, we called him Biss.
Hey Biss.
Hey Biss.
Good job, Biss.
Of all those who've been honored by the Judo Touro Society, undoubtedly Allan is the best tennis player. But please don't tell Paul Rosenblum or Teddy Hyman that.
Some people know that he's a good to average tennis player, depends who you talk to.
Look, put it this way. Biss and I as a doubles team have never won a match.
I'm the better tennis player.
Allan's the better person. I'm a little bit better in tennis.
We met at Auburn. We went out on one date. We went to the Auburn LSU game, had a great time. He asked me out for the next weekend. I already had a date. So he didn't ask me out again for a year. That time when he asked me, we had another great time, and when he asked me out for the next weekend, I already had a date. So I asked him to please not wait another year, which he didn't.
When I think of my whole family together growing up, we'd go to my grandparents' house, and my grandmother would literally host us every Friday night. We'd do a full Shabbat dinner, putting all of the Jewish traditions into our actual lives. That's kind of how the whole family has ended up, just very welcoming and wanting to be around people and liking to bring the community in.
The first time I remember him doing anything in the community, his mother was working at the Jewish Community Center, and we volunteered.
At the time that he got involved at the JCC, we were having some very difficult times. There wasn't enough membership, the building was in need of tremendous repair. Without Allan, I'm not sure we would have changed that game.
He's been House Committee Chairman here, board member, Vice President and President of the Center.
Watching the way he became civically engaged, that's something that comes from his mother, his father, and I realized that that's what you do in life, is not only are you in it for yourself, you try to become part of something larger.
Miss Bissinger has to be so proud of him, and I know Roger, his dad, is no longer with us, but they should take full credit for the type of person Allan has become.
I knew that it was kind of in our family's blood. I remember my mom as a consummate volunteer, and my father had been involved with Touro as far back as I can remember.
Roger was a tremendous supporter of Touro as well, and they really have created a legacy.
Sometimes those doors open because your parents were so active that people automatically reach out to you. And not all those people rise to the occasion the way Allan has.
I've seen the energy, the devotion, the time, and the treasure that he's brought to his support of Touro. It really comes from his heart.
Allan may not be fully aware how each one of us, by knowing him, every now and then says, how can I be more like Allan?
I think Allan defines success based on how he impacts other people's lives. And by impact, I mean helps.
The answer for Allan is always yes. So he has this kind of unwavering enthusiasm and willingness to both lead and to help do the work.
During Allan's time as chairman of the board of PAR, our organization had to move its office location. Well, Allan didn't have to show up on moving day, but here he shows up, hands-on, moving our teleconferencing equipment. I mean, what a guy. Allan does things big and small with a big heart and a big soul.
He does it quietly, and he doesn't take himself too seriously, and people love it.
One of the greatest assets of his that I admire is his humility.
Allan's very humble, he's very modest. The only thing he boasts about is Auburn football team, especially when they win a championship.
The first time he made a wonderful gift to the JCC and his mother's name's on it. The next time he wanted to do it in honor of someone who had made that place very special and who otherwise might not have recognized.
There's this space that is one of the entrances to our pool, and there's always a breeze going through it. So we just started calling it the Breezeway. And then we were looking for naming rights, and we thought, well, hey, that's a good place, the Bissinger Breezeway. They came to me and at a meeting and made an announcement that in my honor it would be named after me. Instead of using their name, his family had put my name up on that stuff. It just goes to show you the type of person, Allan is and his family is.
He also has a really hard time saying no when he sees a need and somebody thinks that he can fill that need.
Allan is someone who can come in when there's a crisis and handle it.
During Katrina, which was a very hard time for everybody, Allan managed the whole monetary process of the Jewish Welfare Federation from all over the world.
I was the president of the Jewish Federation at the time, and Allan was the incoming president. I can tell you firsthand that there is no one that could have possibly done the leadership yeoman's task that he did to bring the New Orleans Jewish community back after Katrina. Our community does owe him a large debt of gratitude.
He had to be at the helm at that time, and without him, a lot of our community would not be back and would not be here.
He was kind of doing many jobs at one time, still trying to keep his business afloat and deal with our house, and all those things needed to be done, and he did it. And he was also involved in Touro at that time.
We were a little short of cash, if you will, after Katrina, and we blew through most of our endowment. We were down to a very small amount in trying to support the hospital after the storm.
When I learned that Touro was basically up for sale and really recognized what that meant, my first call was to Allan. And out of that grew not just the important partnership between Touro and Children's Hospital, but indeed that was the beginning of LCMC Health.
Allan had the foresight to say, well, what about a partnership with Children's Hospital? To make that call, to make that decision, to have that vision, that's the definition of a game changer.
You can work a deal and shake hands and have it all on paper, which is terrific and what we did. But Allan was able to take that concept and actually turn it into reality.
He understands the importance of legacy and history, but also how to balance that out with the need for change and progress and to evolve.
Healthcare is in the middle of a massive transformation. At the heart of that, though, is the care for patients and families. But we can't deliver on that mission if we can't be successful on the business side. And Allan brings a really disciplined, careful approach to that to assure that we get it right.
Touro and New Orleans are a better place for Allan's involvement. He cares really deeply about the people, the patients, and the health of our overall community.
That's something that is deeply embedded into us. Serve the community, but also help when it comes to health and children. And so I can't think of a better award for Allan.
I'm sure the Judith Touro Society Award is probably for him a little embarrassing. He doesn't really like the limelight.
Allan's a quiet leader, so he's more behind the scenes. I think this is putting him in the spotlight he deserves.
It makes me very proud of him. You know, I think that he deserves it, and he's worked tirelessly without even expecting ever any recognition like this.
You know, it's probably the highest honor he has received. Roger got the award, and Allan's great aunt, Leon Marks, also got the award. And I think the family is really pleased.
I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Judah Touro Society Award. Congratulations, Allan.
Allan, I just want you to know that even if you weren't my big brother, I would hold you in the highest esteem.
I thank you for being a good friend.
I love you. I respect you.
All of us are so proud to call you our friend.
Thank you for your years and decades of service.
Dad, you've done a lot for me personally and for the whole community.
Thank you for instilling those values and being a role model for me.
You've set the stage for all of us, and we have a really high bar to live up to.
In everything that you do, you work hard, you get it done. And in this case, you're being recognized by the people that you've worked the hardest for. And I'm real proud that it's happening for you. I love you.